everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my Reading Rush TBR. So the Reading Rush is what used to be the Booktubeathon, and I've been participating in the Booktubeathon for the last few years now. And to be honest, I wasn't planning on participating this year, but I decided that I kind of want to get out of this reading funk that I'm in. It's not necessarily that I'm in a reading slump. I do want to read, and I am interested in the books that I am reading, but I'm just feeling really picky. I'm having trouble finding books that are piquing my interest. So I am just in this weird reading funk, and I feel like the Reading Rush is the perfect time to kind of kickstart all of these amazing readathons that are about to happen. So we have the Reading Rush that's going to be from July 22nd. So when you're seeing this, I'm filming it the night before, but when you're seeing this today, the Reading Rush has officially started. And so it's going from the 22nd to July 28th. And then in the first weekend of August, we have the Reverse-a-thon, like Dewey's 24-hour readathon, Reverse-a-thon, where instead of it starting in the morning on Saturday, it's starting in the evening on Friday, and I am going to be participating in that. Plus, August is the Newt's readathon, so just a lot of amazing readathons that are happening, and I just need to get out of this funk and just, you know, read some amazing books. So I'm really going to try and complete all 7 challenges. Well, technically 8, because there's always the challenge of read 7 books in a week, and I believe last year I did achieve that. I was able to read 7 books in that week, but we'll see how it goes. I'll just be happy if I read like 2 books this week, to be honest, because I think I've only read like 2 books in the month of July. Okay, so let's just jump into the challenges and my TBR. So the first challenge is to read a book with purple on the cover. And for this one, I have 2 picked out that I'm not sure which one I want to read yet, but depending on my mood, I've got 2. So the first book that I have picked out is Soul of Stars by Ashley Poston. As you can see, there is purple in the cover. This is the second book in the Heart of Iron series. I read Heart of Iron last year and I really enjoyed it. It is a science fiction kind of heist story set in space. I really ended up enjoying it. It surprised me, and I do want to continue on with the series, but the book isn't released until July 23rd. So depending on if I'm able to get my hands on it this week, then I may pick it up, or I may save it and read it in August. But I do have a backup, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. As you can see, there's definitely purple on the cover of Throne of Glass, and I have been kind of wanting to reread the Throne of Glass series. I don't know what it is, but these last couple of weeks, I just keep eyeing it on my bookshelf, and I'm really sad that there is no audiobook available at my public library for Throne of Glass, because I really want to listen to it, and I was just kind of, you know, what the hell, I think maybe I'll just pick it up and read it for the Reading Rush. It's not very long. I think last time I read it really quickly, and the first one, not a lot happens in the first one compared to like the rest of the series, and I think it'd be kind of fun to like go back and just read the beginning of where everything started and where Selena came from. I adore this series, and so I'm kind of wanting to reread it. The next challenge is to read a book in the same spot. So once again, I have a few options for this. I'm debating on picking up an audiobook, and I haven't decided what audiobook I'm going to pick up yet, but if I do pick up an audiobook, that will be reading a book in the same spot, because I tend to just listen to my audiobook in my car to and from my commute from work, and so, you know, that's reading in the same spot. I also have a graphic novel that I just got from my public library, and that is The Prince and the Dressmaker by, I believe, Jen Wong, and this is a graphic novel, and I'm pretty sure I can read it in one sitting, so I can definitely read it in the same spot. I've been seeing this book on BookTube, and Hannah just read it and I believe she rated it a 5 out of 5 stars. So I thought it would be the perfect time to read it, especially during a readathon. So I'm really excited for that one. Challenge number 3 is to read a book that you meant to read last year. Once again, I have a few options for this. So my first is Aragon by Christopher Paolini. I've been meaning to read this series for many years, and last year I thought I would finally do it. I think I checked out the audiobook like 3 times and I started it and I just never finished it. So I thought, you know, maybe this will be the week where I read Aragon. So that is an option, maybe listening to it on my audiobook or just reading the physical copy. I haven't decided how I want to do it yet. Like I said, I've just kind of been in a really picky like reading funk. So I'm gonna be a mood reader all week. So that's why I'm giving myself some options. So this is the first option. My second option is to read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. I read this book usually once a year and I didn't read it for 2018. So I was meaning to read it last year and I think I mentioned it a couple times that I kind of wanted to reread The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but I never got around to it. So this is another book that I would want to read now. And the third option is Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. So Blood Witch was just released in February and I haven't read it yet. I don't remember what happened, to be honest. And I think I mentioned last year that I kind of wanted to reread it before Blood Witch came out, and I never did. So this is another option for me, and I also went ahead and checked out the audiobook. So once again, I could read it on audiobook, or I could just read the physical book. The next challenge is to read an author's first book. So this could be an author's debut novel, or it could be an author that you really enjoy and you just read the first book. And for this, I'm kind of gonna double dip because that is allowed and go with Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is Sarah J. Maas's first novel that she wrote, and it's phenomenal and I really want to reread it. Honestly, I think even if it weren't the reading rush, I think I would end up rereading it right now. It's just calling me. It's really what I want to read. Challenge number 5 is to read a book where the main character is non-human. Once again, so many great options for this. First one being Aragon. So our main character is Aragon, but there is also another main character. I believe it's his dragon. Her name is Saphira, and I do think that she is a main character, I believe. Hey, Kevin. It's his favorite series. Hey, Kev. Hey, I have a question. With Aragon, is Saphira a main character? She is? Okay, perfect. So the booktubeathon readathon starts tomorrow, and one of the challenges is to read a book where one of the main characters is non-human. So this would work?
Yeah, I mean, Aragon's the dude.
Yeah, Aragon is human.
Saphira is his dragon.
Yes, but I was just...
like, most of the dialogue is those two. So, I mean, I would consider her quite integral to the story. Okay,
so Saphira is considered a main character.
I think so.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Kevin agrees. Another option is, once again, Throne of Glass. I'm not going to say why, because I don't want to spoil anything, but we'll just leave it at a main character is not human. One of the main characters is not human. We'll leave it at that. The next challenge is to read a book where the title has more than 5 words in it. And they did say that the, of, a, all of those words count. So I actually have a few options. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Or I can use The Prince and the Dressmaker. And then the last challenge, challenge number 7, is to read a book and watch the movie or TV show adaptation. I have 2 options. Aragon, there's a movie. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, there are actually 2 adaptations. So that is it for my Reading Rush TBR. I will leave the link to the videos and everything down below about the Reading Rush. Also, comment down below and let me know if you plan on participating and what books you are planning on reading. I also plan to vlog the entire week, so I'm really excited to do that. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!